Hey guys, welcome back to Loop Hub. Today we'll talk about two of the most disgusting moments on Dr. Pimple Popper that made us shudder. Let's head into it. A Pimple Museum. Dr. Pimple Popper treated a man she dubbed the Pimple Popper Museum on the most recent episode of her show because he had a head full of cysts that contained secret cysts within them. Ken, a 35-year-old from Florida, visited Dr. P's Upland clinic with pillar cysts ranging in size, from a pea to a golf ball. Ken revealed in the program that he first spotted the cyst when he was 19 years old. He's discovered 1 or 2 additional cysts on his head every year afterward. Ken says that he grew his hair and beard out to hide the cysts, and that he stopped attending the gym because he was embarrassed. He also attempted but failed to pop them himself. These bumps have definitely made me feel more melancholy. My work and my self-esteem have suffered as a result. On the episode, Ken, a cell phone salesperson, remarked Ken acknowledged to Dr. Pimple Popper that he tried to get rid of his cysts with a safety pin and his own fingers. Lee said he knew how helpless he felt in those situations, but popping and picking at cysts might lead to infection, a larger cyst, or more difficult treatment process. Irritated cysts, according to Lee, generate more scar tissue and refuel with a more liquefied fluid, making it more difficult to completely eliminate the growth. When Dr. P first started treating Ken, she observed this. She used an injectable medication to numb his cysts, before slicing in the middle of a golf ball-sized cyst near the back of his head. She carefully squeezed against the incision, allowing thin-looking blood and yellow pus to drain. This was a telltale sign, according to Lee, that he had manhandled the growths at home. Dr. P was able to detect the cysts in her sac, which she needed to remove in order to prevent the cyst from growing further. She was able to close the wound and cut open the next cyst, which turned out to be 2 in 1. Ken's DIY therapy, according to Lee, resulted in a proliferating pillar cyst, which is an inflammatory cyst that produces another cyst next to it. When Dr. P examined the growth's 2 sacs, she exclaimed, "He's a booger." Despite this, she was able to stitch up Ken and remove both growths. Dr. P successfully removed 3 of Ken's 7 cysts after a few incisions, squeezes, and squirts. Ken expressed his eagerness to return to the gym and his employment. Number 2. Back cyst and egg salad. Dr. Pimple Popper's latest pimple popping video gave fans a 2-for-1 offer as she treated the patient's 2 epidermoid back cysts in one sitting. An epidermoid cyst is a growth that forms when skin cells burrow and multiply beneath the skin. They usually grow slowly and are not unpleasant. They often have cheesy insides and a distinct odor. A cyst is a lump of fluid, air, or something else. Cysts are very common, and most aren't cancer. You may need tests like CT scan, ultrasound, and biopsy to confirm if that's a cyst. Often cysts don't need treatment, but your doctor can let you know if yours does. You can get them in many different parts of your body, or you may not even know that they're there. Dr. P began by treating the patient's baby cyst, which he claimed had been bothering him for a few years. Lee utilized an injected numbing medication to numb the area before cutting directly across the cyst center with a surgical blade. Dr. P next squeezed inwards with his gloved thumb and index finger on either side of the growth. A glob of thick white liquid spewed forth right away. She next dug around inside the incision with tweezers, scissors, and a tiny scooping instrument, removing microscopic fragments of the cyst. According to Lee, it's critical to get rid of every last trace of the cyst, or it could reappear. Lee used stitches to close the incision and move on to the second cyst. Once she was sure she'd removed all the epidermoid cyst, Dr. P numbed the spot, sliced into its core, and squeezed it with her fingers. Much like the previous time, the second cyst ejected a larger amount of pus that resembled cheese. The stuff resembled egg salad, according to Lee. The cyst's entire sac, which held the pus in place beneath the skin, burst out as she continued to squeeze. Dr. Pimple Popper was ecstatic. "It reminds me of a garlic clove. This one is stunning." In the case of the second cyst, this was said. She then continued to demonstrate it to the patient before closing the second incision. This brings us to the end of our video. I hope you enjoyed it. Hit like if you did, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel so that you don't miss any of our videos in the future. Also, watch the 2 videos that are on your screen because I'm sure you'll love them. With that, I'll see you in the next video.